Shota used to get second at the Japanese Nationals. It's got a lot of different and interesting cards. I don't really know how it will play. And I'm not sure about all the card choices, but, you know, wanted to try something a little different today. Again, we're like 13 days from the new set being released, so just want to play a bunch of decks right now that we've not really played a lot before, get to experience them and say goodbye to some cards. Though I guess technically this is an energy list, we're not really saying goodbye to anything. Saying goodbye to some good mana, I guess, but like the mana will still be fine. Saying goodbye to Tireless Tracker, if that's a thing. Tireless Tracker is actually an incredibly powerful card, but, you know, for the most part, it's the same-o. Alright, anyway, let's just get into a game. This Jace's defeat on camera looked really good versus him, and so did these Chandra's defeats. Got a feeling that in Standard in general, like, we underplay the defeat cards. Like, there's a good argument that, like, this card is better in some sideboards than Negate. Because it can get Torrential Gearhulk, Scarab God, or another counterspell. The Negates get Planeswalkers and, like, some ramp spells. But, like, I'm not saying all sideboards, I'm just saying some. Even like how you can bring the Jace's defeat in this particular match, and it's good versus the opposing Negates if opponents bring them in, which they probably shouldn't, but, like, it's still good versus Rogue Refiners, Whirler Virtuosos, and Confiscation Coups, even if they don't bring the Negates in. So that's a little on the cute side. And things that are cute are not necessarily always wrong. Oh lord, I had the volume on again. I apologize. Hope it's not too late. Yeah, every time I make that joke, I kind of want to cut myself a little. Well, I think this hand's an easy mulligan. Our opponent mulliganed as well. We don't need double red with this deck, so while this hand isn't good, it doesn't have any of our 2-drops, any of our interaction spells. I think it's better than a random 5. Hey George, what's up, man? How are you today? We're playing versus the old Tracy Racy. Alright, well, every time I see an irrigated farmlands, or just any blue-white land, I immediately think approach, and blue-white approach is going to absolutely wreck this deck. Westfall Abbey means it could be Monument, I guess, but, like, our hand's even bad versus that. Didn't we just scry this to the bottom? Don't Lone Rider me, bro. Oh, he exerted. That's probably bad for me. Well, it wasn't a Lone Rider, so that's at least encouraging. Oh, screw a bunch of Destiny, man. You gotta play that PUBG. Get in that Banana Man hop. I feel like this match is a favorite versus at least the Brad Nelson teamer. Don't know about this teamer. This teamer doesn't have Glorybringers in it. And I think not having Glorybringers is a scary, scary thing. What PTQ is it? I thought that was last week. Rip. We have been reboot. This is getting less and less good. I really thought that was last Saturday or last Sunday. Are you and your friends not going to the SCG in Louisville this weekend? I felt for sure you would have been an SCG guy. Actually, I kind of want to confiscation coup this guy instead of playing the Veritas Gearhulk. One, it gives him one less attacker, and two, I can use the Veritas Gearhulk on a life linker on the following turn. You just gotta drop out of college, man. I don't know what you're doing in that college stuff. You know better to be in college. So he's only got 2 cards in hand, so this is kind of good. I'll check it out after the stream. I only have the one monitor. What cards could be bad here? Well, of course, a Stasis Snare or something for the Effer. You know, I went to college for programming, but like, I realized there would be no way I could ever program for the rest of my life. It's kind of odd that he's not attacking with these as well. Sure. So we expected this. It's one of the reasons we didn't lead with the Gearhulk last turn. We're just going to put our things on this and try to lifelink for a bunch next turn while still having a 4/4 to block with. And now we're just kind of trying to race Westville Abbey. Is fitting my deck's okay? Nah. Let's play come into play tap land. Thank you, Eric, for the auto host. I appreciate it again. I saw you playing Amulet Titan today. Been doing a lot of my watching on my PlayStation as of late, though, so I've not really been able to do any chatting. There's no Glorybringers or anything in this build of the deck, so I don't have to worry about the double red. Let's try to gain 1,000,000 life. Because that'll be fun, won't it, friends? Wonder how the frames are doing today. The frames are doing great today. Have no idea why I had such problems last week. Let's get a casual 8 life here. Him blocking is actually not that bad for me because it puts him further and further away from Westville Abbey, which is the card I'm kind of most concerned about. Archangel Avison would probably be kind of bad for me as well, but yeah, I'm willing to trade my Veritas Gearhulk here. I could have left one counter on this so he couldn't attack, but like I don't mind to make that trade. Monument's a good one. Didn't mind to make that trade at all. Man, might as well grab it. Not really sure why I would want it, but Alright, so it's going to be a lot harder for us now to really race anything. They could just have Dustodons. They could have, well, just creatures now. Uh, no, just to be more approach. We played approach yesterday. We're just, the format's over. Like, Ixalan rotates in 13 weeks, so we're just, like, saying goodbye to some of our favorite cards, and this seemed like the best deck with Tireless Trackers, so I wanted to at least play a day of Tireless Trackers. But no, there'll still be more blue-white approach. Yeah, I probably should have, to be honest. I kind of wanted him to attack into the Virtus Gearhulk, though. Like I said, the card that I'm most afraid of right now is that Westvale Abbey. So I don't really mind a whole lot if he's trading off his guy. Makes my attack considerably worse, but like I don't hate it. I would also be afraid of a Dustodon here, of course. But save for Dustodon, we're probably not worried about too much. Not worried about much either way, to be honest. Unfortunately, there's a Tireless Tracker. Alright. Let's see if he gets counterspelled or anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to exert this turn, but we may exert next turn. I think our life total's high enough that we don't need to exert this turn. I could be wrong, though. They could have Dustodon. There's a good chance that I should have just gained my life. There's also a good chance that I should have just done an extra 3 damage with the Bristling Hydra. I'm actually kind of not playing this game well. Playing this game kind of bad, to be honest. I have to tighten up for game 2 and 3. I definitely don't like how I played this game. Yeah, I definitely think I should have gained 8 life that turn. Not gaining that 8 life was a pretty massive mistake. It's kind of an interesting attack. I wonder what he could have. Has nothing? Yeah, I would have assumed he had to have something, but he's got to have something, right? Might as well gain our little 8 life this turn to have a little bit of a cushion. There is magma sprays in this build of the deck, but I don't think it's worth using or looking for one there. He has the Selfless Spirit either way. And he's kind of like dead either way. Yeah, you can't block with that. You've got to send the Bygone in. And let's save our dude. Sure. So we still have to dodge Dustodon, but that gives him a lot of blockers again. It's kind of going off. Need him not to have another Selfless Spirit. Magma Spray, do you do anything? You do something, I guess. I don't think I mind trading this guy and a Magma Spray into something, but I'm probably just using the Magma Spray on this either way. So it's probably not worth it just to attack with that then? Sure. Oh wow. He's letting me make good trades. It's kind of interesting. I can kill this guy and that guy not flip. I can just let this card that I don't care about trade into this. Alright. I'm willing to kill that thing. Don't really care about the Lumbering Falls, so guess a nice little threat here that can survive Dustodon. Yeah, I felt like I should have done damage earlier with the Bristling Hydra that I didn't do. But yeah, I played this game pretty poorly on like the first 5 turns, I think. Certainly have to tighten up for games 2 and 3. But there goes the Dusk. That's a good one. It's probably enough to win the game because we don't have a haste threat. Like, there's no Glorybringer or anything in this deck. Thank you for following, J-Bob. I do have 3 lethal attackers, though. So, like, a removal spell is enough. You know what that card is? It's not a removal spell. Okay, well, we'll just attack, I guess. Guess there's no real reason to send that guy in. Hey, Ring Soda. It would have prevented a double block, but... Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have allowed the double block. The Servant being killed's better than the Longfalls being killed. Especially when he's getting everything back. So I guess technically they're the same, right? So we'll probably be back to the spot where a removal spell can win again, if he doesn't hit a land. I think this takes 5, right? Yeah, it takes 5. So that means he can play one thing and have 3 blockers. So again, any removal spell will do it. We are 20 cards deep in the deck. At some point, we should hit a removal spell. It's kind of an odd one. I would have thought Selfless Spirit would have been a better one. Well, that's probably game. Huh. He drew pretty poorly. And we still just got browned. But again, I don't think I played well. I think this game was won if I just played better. I have no idea how to win it now. There might be some world where I could draw the sky ship. I don't actually know what that card is. I think the Gearhulk play was fine. I'm actually pretty happy about the Gearhulk play. What I wasn't happy about was not putting a counter on Bristling Hydra at some point. Like, we've got all this energy that we just never used. I should have definitely used the Bristling Hydra at some point. To just sneak any type of damage through that I could. Alright, so Radiant Flames has to be good versus them. Guess Natural State is as well. And the Skyship probably is as well. So what's not great then? Can't think of anything that I really want a Confiscation Coup. Alright, let's pull up this card. Huh. Won't let me open it. It's kind of weird. Seven or more cards in your graveyard. That's that card's not terrible. The top 4 cards of your library, you may put something among them. Huh. I kind of like this card. It wouldn't replace Blighted Cataract because Blighted Cataract's an actual land, but like, that card seems reasonable. I don't think we want those, and I don't think we want some of the more expensive spells that just die to Dustodon. Let's try this. We had a lot of spells that could have won last game. Like, we had any removal spell or Whirler Virtuoso over multiple draw steps. And I like that blue card. I don't think I want negates. Seems like too much of an ask. Oh, cool. Well, we get to mulligan again. We mulliganed last game, too. I just don't think hands like this win, but I think it's good enough to keep. This is very similar to the hand we had last game where we drew 0 removal spells, 0 2-drops. I think this card is better than the Rogue Refiner here. Well, if they don't play anything else, we're going to make a copter. Could have got the clue online, but wanted to try to go ahead and hit the tap land there. That was probably wrong. I'm almost... There was a similar situation to that in Japanese Nationals, and Shota just hard slammed a tracker. So, like, I probably should have also hard slammed a tracker. Take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. Sure. But we're not going to play the Skyship into just a counterspell. We're going to make him tap mana first. And now I see that I tapped my lands wrong. I should have left a green land untapped. There's another small player. Well, definitely going to have to tighten up. I'm not really focused today. I had some drama around where I live. But our opponent's got mana screwed, so this is working out pretty well. We'll actually tap the mana properly this time. Alright. Well, they are a third Tireless Tracker in the deck, so I guess I'll hold the Forest one more turn. Probably won't play it until the turn we're casting the Skyship. Yeah, well, I guess we'll hold it forever then. I want to draw. The negates might be a little bit better, but I still don't think they are. We've got plenty of removal spells. We have 11 if you count the Tireless Tracker, or the Radiant Flames, I mean. 13 if you count these. We're going to be tapping our mana on turn 2 and turn 3 a pretty large amount of the time, so like I don't think the negate for the monument's going to happen real often. I wonder about this hand. It's kind of an interesting hand. We have the removal we need, and we have some other spells, but like, we don't have a red mana, so we can't play 2 of the spells in our hand yet. I think this is a mulligan, but I think it's close. I think I would keep it on to play, but I think it's a mulligan on to draw. I think we can do better on the draw. Well, clearly didn't do better. I wonder how many lands is in this deck. We're going to have to pay attention because we've struggled with lands every game. I guess we need the land. I don't really want to keep it, especially when it's coming to play tap land, but looks like we need it. Let's check and see how many lands are actually in this deck. 22? Alright, well, that seems like a decent enough number. It's kind of awkward having the two man lands like that. Yeah, I think I would rather try to develop my lands than just jam something on that turn. All of our threats are fairly interchangeable, so I don't think it matters which one resolves as long as one resolves. That being said, like any of his X3s are obviously killer. That's a pretty good lead he's jumped out to. It's probably going to be too much card advantage, especially versus our rather weak hand. Okay, a second one. Well, we need to draw a Radiant Flames on the quick then. Go ahead and make one of these so we can start attacking back. If he does happen to block, we definitely have the Magma Spray. Yeah. Kind of need him not to hit a land. It's kind of odd that he would not attack with one this turn, but the way he did last turn. Okay. Probably going to kill this, but we may kill the bishop. Really depends on how he blocks. I guess it's safe to deal one extra damage with this guy. I don't really care if he plays Dustodon. We're going to have a backup Long Tusk Cub. Dustodon's going to beat us either way in the end. So which one of you two are more threatening? It's probably just this thing, right? Yeah. probably this thing. So we're going to kill this one and just hope. Get us some nice little energy going. So we only lose one creature to Dustodon, and it takes his entire turn, so like a Dustodon's nothing I really have to worry about. Honestly, the Hannah Militia is one of the cards that I have to worry about the most here. The Bygone Bishop's kind of threatening too. I guess we need our counters for our cubs. That's another cub. I wonder if it's better just to attack with a manland or not. Nah. Let's just keep applying as much pressure as we can. We know he gets 1/3 block with the kill the servant with whatever he wants. Not super worried about that. Anything else is at minimum a trade? The fact that he does this kind of makes me think he does have the Dustodon, but I think it's fine if he does. Like, it takes up 2 of his turns, and we still have a pretty decent board. So, like, we're really just wanting a removal spell now. Sure. It's nothing we didn't expect. Skyship's probably the best card we can draw. Alright. I think I'm going to attack with them all. I'm just going to attack with these two. We draw a removal spell, the Copter still has some value. Guess if they're making that block, they have another Dustodon? That'd be pretty unfortunate. They draw more Dustodons than we do spot removal. It's probably not a game we're likely to win. I don't think it's an impossible game to win, but just saying it's like not real likely. That was a good draw. Hopefully they didn't get a 1-drop to go with it. Of course they got a 1-drop to go with it. Why wouldn't they get a 1-drop to go with it? Well, I don't even have that good of an attack now, do I? I trade this in, it just kills this, and he still has that for like a small amount of damage. Doesn't feel very good. I feel like we played game 1 wrong, but I feel like we've got pretty unlucky this game. Guess I don't care if he kills the thing. He does take a big hit from this. Really gonna need to draw a removal spell though at some point. Problem is now, like, he can play around a lot of our removal spells with Metallic Rebuke. I'm guessing we're going to have 8 outs to win the game. Oh, well, maybe we're not going to have 8 outs to win the game. So, to play around Metallic Rebuke or to not play around Metallic Rebuke? Can't really win if he has a Metallic Rebuke, right? Because next turn he just pays 5 mana and then plays 3 to play whatever one of those he wants. This card doesn't draw us a card, it doesn't really do a lot. So I feel like we're in a spot where we're looking for a sky ship to even have a chance. And a sky ship may not give us a chance, but I feel like our only chance is a sky ship. Could have left mana tapped a little better, but sure, he's got one of those too. That's good. It's actually not that bad for me. It got a lot worse for me right there. Skyship's still best card, but like, again, probably doesn't resolve at this point in the game. Any removal spells okay? The Long Tusk Cub doesn't really do anything. So if I attack now, he just double blocks, so I trade this for like 2 of these things, and he gets them both back. That doesn't seem particularly good. Yeah, so we just pass turn. Can draw a Radiant Flame still and get an attack in. Like, he's not hit a Selfless Spirit yet. But he does have the 3rd Dusk. I'd like to point out he probably only even has 3 Dusks, so he drew more Dusks than we did spot removal when we have 11. 13 if you include our big cards. Seems pretty ridiculously unlucky for me. They have 3 Dustodons. That's nice. I would say we still have a chance if he doesn't cast Radiant Flames, but the fact that he's got 2 more of those probably cancels any of that. That's actually ridiculously good for me. So if I do draw Radiant Flames, I can get in for a good amount of damage. That's not a Radiant Flames. Attacking doesn't really do anything. He can just block with all 4 and get 2 of them back with that. So we're really just hoping he doesn't have a Selfless Spirit. It's an attack for not 14. So Radiant Flames wins the game unless he has a counterspell? One time? Alright, well, I guess it's time to see if it resolves. Let's make this guy all sorts of big. Does he have a negate? He sideboarded in negates versus me. I don't know why you would sideboard in negates here. He obviously has a lot more spells, and like my negates are very bad versus him. Like I assumed he'd have a Metallic Rebuke, and I wouldn't be able to actually win because I wouldn't be able to attack with the Fumarole. But like him having negate there blows my mind. And move on into the next match. I think in match 1 we've already suffered not having. We'll keep this hand. It's the best hand we've had so far. We already suffered for not having the what you call it, the Glory Bringers, a pretty good amount. So you got a Forest. Yeah, these don't get a whole lot better than this. He's mulliganed, so feels like that's okay. Kind of feel like it's worth killing this thing too before it gets out of hand. That may not have been worth it though. The Whirler Virtuoso might have been good enough just to keep it in control. I might should have saved that for a Glory Bringer. We have more energy at least. They probably have more payoff cards. Thought I did tap that for blue. That's fine. My sinuses have been crushing me today as well. Okay. I think this little guy's more important anyway. That's what we call best spell. Oh god, my sinuses really are crushing me. So there's the Glorybringer as expected. When I say as expected, I mean we're pretty sad about. I feel like that card's a game changer in this match and we don't have access to it. I'm not actually sure why Shota's not running it. He's obviously a master and I'm not, so I'll just have to not understand, but I'm fine with that trade. We do have Confiscation Coup in our deck. We have one in the main deck, which is pretty nice. And that's pretty nice as well for him. Just gonna keep attacking. Won't stop attacking. Down to 3. All these servants. I don't know how you're supposed to sideboard this match either. I know the cards that I think are good, but like, that's clearly not what Shota thought. So this card has to probably be good. This card has to be good. These cards are good versus Chandra and Glorybringer. This card's good versus a good portion of the deck. But what I sideboard out's the harder part. Shota left some sprays in. He left most of his Harness Lightnings in. I believe he left some Abrades in. Also not sure how good or bad the Skyship is in the match. I'm going to assume not great, though I've heard some Temur players say that it was one of the keys to the match. And I've not felt like it's one of the keys to the match at all. Huh. Maybe something like that. You don't want to draw a lot of these cards. And maybe I want to upgrade, but I'm not sure what I'd sideboard out for it. I never saw Shota play a Whirl of Virtuoso post board, so like maybe he doesn't value that card as much as I do, but I value it pretty highly. Yeah, this hand's pretty close to everything we'd want, I believe. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 double green spells and only 3 double blue spells. On a personal level, I would sideboard the Harvesters out, but like I said, I watched Japanese Nationals and Shota left them in, so kind of like deferring to his judgment on some of these things. I don't like them, but like he's 100 times the player I'll ever be. Oh, I just noticed, by the way. Thank you for the 100 bits, Anarif. Appreciate that, man. I don't know how I didn't notice until now. Just don't know if that's worth killing. Stops a lot of his turn 3 plays, but like, how good are they? That's probably not worth it. I'm kind of worried about him just untapping and having Chandra, though. Hmm. Let's get this to where we can put 2 activations on. It's kind of awkward to play the Spire Bluff like that, but he's not showed us a red mana yet. He mulliganed to 6 again, and I wanted to make sure my Long Tusk Cub could be bigger than his Long Tusk Cub. With 2 colors, so that's a 4 or a 5/5. Again, I'm technically bigger on the board. That was an awkward draw too. Could offer him to trade, but I value my energy more than I value his 5/5. Kind of interesting to see what happens on this turn. I don't actually value my Bristling Hydra that much. I'd probably pay 3 energy. Alright. So he had 5 mana and didn't play anything, which means I'm certainly going to try to take this. And just start attacking. I would trade either of my things for either of his things. I don't care. Like, we're out of gas in the hand, so I just want to end the game as quick as I can. Both. Like, This thing represents up to 6 power as well, so it could trade with both. Certainly okay with this. So that's just 5, 6 at max, so fine with that. Killing one of those lands seems fine. Alright, well, I'll use the other energy too then. Killing a land and a dude feels pretty good there. Untap land and Scarab God would be frightening, but that's about it. So this thing's bigger than that thing again. Attack him for about half. He gave us his land too, so like he couldn't even play a Scarab God if he had it. That'll come into play tapped. Woodland Wanderers are the bomb in this deck. Glad we have them. I say jestingly. Well, he didn't scoop. So, this is a man that has a plan. Confiscated Woodland Wanderer. It is a Vigilance Trample 2/2 for 4 mana with Converge. So when you're playing the 4 color versions, it can be a 6/6 Vigilance Trampler for 4. He only had 3 colors of mana when he played it though, so it was just a 5/5. It's a pretty neat card. A lot of the Japanese cut Bristling Hydras from their lists for it at Nationals. I believe the guy who won did. Yuya was in the top 8 with a similar cut. Opponents at 1. Sure. We dealt with 1 for it. Yeah, it's pretty nice, especially when he didn't play anything on 5. Like, would prefer to get a Scarab God with it, of course, but you know, getting a 5/5 Trampler versus an opponent who didn't play a spell on turn 5 while having 5 untapped sources of lands, just pretty gnarly. I said gnarly in a sentence. I feel great today. Alright, let's move on to the next match. Remember, if you like what you see, a link to both my Twitch and my Twitter is, and the deck list is below if you're watching from YouTube, and if you're watching from the actual Twitch stream, that means there's a link to the Twitter and the YouTube down below. Following everything's great, even if you don't feel like watching. Yeah, no, I do like the Confiscation Coup in this deck. I still don't know if I like the No Glorybringer. The No Glorybringer seems like a big ask. I was kind of interested in trying it though, especially because, well, quite frankly, I don't own Chandra's, and his is the first build that I've saw that didn't have some number of Chandra's. Alright. Next round. We get to play first. I own 2 in paper. I don't own any in real life. I had more in paper, but I was practicing for a paper PTQ or PPTQ, sorry, and I needed to clear up some funds to acquire engineered explosives for a deck. So long term, that'll be a good trade for me, but short term, I'm really missing not having a third Chandra. I think this hand's a keep. I don't even know why I was actually stressing about it so much. I wish my sinuses wasn't absolutely destroying me. This is our 3rd opponent in a row who mulliganed to 6 game 1. Wonder if there's any game trails in this deck. There's 2 Cinder Glades. Alright, so no game trails, so like holding the forest doesn't hurt. Also doesn't really help. I guess I could draw another Effer Hub as a reason to play this one first. Unfortunately, I don't drink. Well, I don't like mismatched lands, but I do have to say that is a pretty land. Scott Bailey. I don't think I'd ever saw that one before. Alright, Red Rober, send no Blessed Alliance, Immolating Glare, or Effer Meltdown on over. Eh. The unhinged ones? Or I guess the unstoppable or unstable or whatever the new unset is. Yeah, those look pretty nice. Alright, so this is our worst match by a lot. Like, I find this match to be close to unwinnable. I don't think I'm going to go too deep on the Cub. Actually, I am. Screw it. If you got it, you got it. You didn't have it last turn, so. You didn't have it this turn either. So we're technically able to attack for lethal next turn. Though the odds of us being able to attack for lethal seem pretty low. I think it's a lethal attack. You need something. Alright, well, he had something. And there's no haste threats in this deck, so if he untaps and has a Fumigate, that's probably just enough to win. By the way, if you notice, we drew double removal spell to one match that we don't want to draw any removal spells. We also drew no manlands the one match that we really wanted the manlands. This is my normal luck. Scavenging Grounds main. Alright, we tap double white first, so you know it's a Fumigate. There's just no chance it's not a Fumigate when they tap double white like that. Alright, well. It's a 2-turn clock. And by 2-turn clock, I mean he's going to gain 7 life next turn, so. Got him. I don't like holding the Gearhulk there. If he has the Fumigate, like, it doesn't matter. Like, when you have to kill them before they get to 7 mana. Like, they have way too many cast outs, blessed alliances, even a second Fumigate. Like, all of those spells beat just casting a second Gearhulk like that. Yeah, I would have killed them on 6 if all 4 of the cards in their hand were nothing, right? What's the odds that all 4 of their cards are literally nothing? I mean, the odds for them having a cast out, a blessed alliance, an immolating glare, a big Gideon are a lot higher than the odds of them having exactly Fumigate, right? Well, I don't think so, because in the line you're describing, they can have, like I said, cast out, immolating glare, Effer meltdown, blessed alliance, little Gideon, unsummon. Some of these decks still play unsummon, or a second Fumigate. When I just slam the Gearhulk, they have to have exactly Fumigate or exactly Counterspell. Gearhulk presented lethal that turn. If they didn't Counterspell it that turn, the game was over. Like, we had 13 points of damage. Like they had to have an answer that exact turn, right? Fair. But if they have the Blessed Alliance, they can just play it post. If they have any of those spells, they can like play the post Wrath of God the exact same way. So, just seems like it's better to put them on the shorter clock. So like, have an answer or you're dead, or if you have that answer, this Gearhulk's not particularly great later anyway. So I really wish I had another way to gain energy. Can I cast out my own thing? Sure. Guess I'd rather do it on this thing. And how are we dead? Like, we can beat a Blessed Alliance now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we cannot beat a Blessed Alliance. We can't beat anything. Sure. We know we're dead because the Supreme Will milled 4 cards. I don't know why you untap to do it like that, but whatever. Sure. So we have no haste threats in this build of the deck, and we have no planeswalkers. Well, those are at least playable. I guess that's playable. This is playable. Stasis Snare? That doesn't seem... So cards that seem bad. Magma sprays are definitely bad. Confiscation coup doesn't seem very good. Huh. Hey, local dope. What's up, man? So we get rid of 2 of you cards? Like, the Skyship doesn't seem good, but like the Braid's not that great either. They only have Cat. Don't think we want anything else on the sideboard. Stealing a Cat doesn't seem worth it. Maybe these are okay because of cats. Maybe they're better than a Braid. Can kill the relevant cats if we want. It's probably better than a Braid, right? Like, if a Braid's only trying to kill a cat, this is probably better. It's probably better than Harness Lightning, too, then. Like, they have some Limvalas and stuff, too, but at that stage of the game, things are going pretty bad. Alright, this hand's bad, so let's keep it. Have double removal spell when we don't need any removal spells before 5. This is Shoda's build from Japanese Nationals. He made the finals and lost to a Scarab God build in kind of an interesting match, but like there was a lot of mulligans and mana shrews and stuff. It was an okay match to watch, though. This is Temur's worst match by a lot. And this build cut down on some of the negates, so like it's probably not any better. We drew kind of poorly. Wow, he sideboarded in negate? Not a fan of sideboarding in negate versus this deck. How are the frames doing today? They're still doing fine. Alright, I guess we'll keep that this time. Yeah, Shoda's certainly a master, and this build didn't have Chandra, so we could afford to play it. Being able to afford to play it is the best. Sure. Go 8/8 Gearhulk? Still technically lethal damage next turn if they have nothing. You could like stop buying foils and stuff and do that. I don't know if I'd play a different deck every day. We're still obsessed with blue-red approach. Like, definitely going to play blue-red approach more than anything. 7 mana? Sure. So we really need to draw a negate now. Negatoru. Sorry. Blue-white. You know what that card is? That card is not a negate. Negate? That card is also not a negate. My bad, man. I'm sorry. A little bit out of it. By the way, the card we opened yesterday that I thought was worthless was actually worth 80 tickets. So we hit a pretty killer treasure chest yesterday. Alright, so there were 6 cards down. Bottom. Bottom. So it's 2 cards down. So any scry gets them on their next draw step. Yeah, we hit an exploration. Who knew? Who knew? An exploration. Well, I'm not selling the card, James. I'm just going to buy more cards with it. I'm actually probably going to keep it for Leovold in Commander. Are you a negate? You're also not a negate. Sure, we wish we had all 4 negates in our sideboard so we wouldn't have to brought this Radiant Flames in. But showed up better than me, so. Alright, so we know they draw to approach next turn. So they cast it and they win. Nothing we can do. Oh, they have Immolating Glares as well. Well, all they have to do is tap 7 mana and we lose. Rip. Next card. Alright, anyway, on to the next game. This thing rang soda. Apparently, EDH and stuff has made it blow up in price. Actually has 2 printing on Modos, or 2 different printings on Modo, which is why I was surprised it was worth so much money. I literally thought it'd be worth maybe as much as a chest at best, but less than a chest. But anyway, it was a pretty good hit. Can't complain. I throw that back up, jump into the next match. We're currently 1-2. Felt like we got pretty unlucky game 1, round 1. Round 3, we just got smashed by a deck that we're not supposed to beat, so can't be too upset when we lose to Temur. It's just something that's going to happen. Alright, well, this hand's not great, but I do think it's a keep. Ooh, double Long Tusk Cub. And some of our powerful spells if we hit lands. Yeah, the amusing thing is, as you know, I generally don't open chests, but somebody in chat goaded me into it, so figured I'd open it for them because they asked. It only sells for about 81 though. Oh, cool. So it's probably the same match, and we probably get smashed again. Like, this match just is not winnable without a considerable amount of luck. It's kind of an odd time to cycle that. Who knows? Can get lucky, though. I'm not going to play around the sensor. Yeah, it's our worst match again, though. Nice little Blessed Alliance just kills this thing, or an Immolating Glare, or whatever. I actually made a video last night of me opening a bunch for the stream that I was going to post on YouTube, and then I realized the video was only like 2 or 3 minutes long, and I didn't want to lower my watch time that badly. We're like so incredibly far behind. I've done some Googling, and I think it hurts based on what I read. The sweet turn 5 servant. Take care, Ring Soda. Drive safe. It's just something I like to call not a winnable match. You just cast out this now because I don't have the energy. And now they're on 7. So we have to deal 24 damage before they draw another approach. Seems like an impossible task. Don't think I made any mistakes this game. The only thing that could even be argued as a mistake, I think, was the one guy wanted me to cast a Gearhulk post-Fumigate, which I just don't think wins either. It may have been a better play, but I don't think it affects the outcome. Second Fumigate? Sure. So you attack for 8, you attack for 6, but then I can play it to increase that. Yeah, this is a better play. FF? I don't know what FF means. That's like concede in League of Legends or something, right? I think that's a League of Legends term. I think it means forfeit or something. So do you play? Is that from League of Legends? And do you play much League of Legends? Have two cards in hand. They could just like not have a Wrath of God and not have a draw effect, right? So they've drawn two cards. They'll be drawing three, so it's still 4 down. So I still have to do 20 damage in potentially Diamond 5. You are a much, much better player than I am. I like how you called that shitty, and like, that is so much better than me that it's ridiculous. That is just so much better to me than that's ridiculously better than me. Alright. So 3 cards down now. Okay, I guess we have some kind of chance. All they have to do is brick off twice and we technically win, right? Be 2 draw steps down? After the draw step? Man, I played around 5,000 matches of League of Legends. I'm a gold player. I think if I grinded hard enough, I'd be platinum, but like, I don't think I'm close to being. Alright, well, that's the cycle card, so we know he draws it and he wins. So like last season, I played only my 10 matchmaking games and then gave up. Alright, unless I did bad math, he drew the approach, so like, I don't know why he's not just casting it. Oh, I guess I did do bad math. Alright, that's fine. Well, he can't get the approach then. Wow, I done bad math. Oh no, it was 2 cards away and he drew the sensor. Sure. So anyway, like I was saying, I'm like a gold player. I usually do my placements and get gold. I think if I grinded, I'd be like maybe plat 5 or plat 4, but like I am nowhere near as good as a diamond player. Every time I get paired versus a diamond player, I just get thrashed. But a Gideon's a good card. Alright, so let's start with this. We might steal this game. So how much damage do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We did steal this game. Certainly thought we were just dead. I'll take getting lucky. My opponent is proceeding to tell us that we got lucky as well. Well, we knew we got lucky. What rows do you guys mainly play? Anyway, so we know we want these cards again. I definitely don't think I want the Confiscation Coup. Definitely don't want the Magma Sprays. They kill literal nothing. Mid and jungler. Yeah, those are two of the more important roles to control the game. I used to play jungle a lot, but I've not played jungle much over the last 2 seasons since they've made the bigger changes. Like, I'm pretty bad at CS as well. I gotta be honest, I've just started playing support lately. I hadn't played since February, but I started playing again last week. I always play around this time of year because I want to get the skin for gold. And I'm still delusional enough to think that Radiant Flames are better than Abrades. I think they're better than Harness Lightning too. So I think I've only played 3 ranked games in the last week, but all 3 of them were Zyra. Zyra's my bae. I love her. I do need to play more though. Between like working out and streaming and all the other things that I have to do for like YouTube and stuff, I really don't have a lot of free time these days. So we drew 2 counter spells and not a single creature we can play. Well, that does not feel like a keepable hand. Especially since one of those counter spells actually isn't very good in the match. It just seems like it's better than some of the other things we had. Alright, we'll mulligan. Oh, we'll mulligan again. Yeah, well, this hand actually seems pretty decent. Certainly don't want you. We're willing to die to cat scratch fevers if that's what comes around. Alright. Jaina's very overpowered. She's so good. I shouldn't say overpowered. Overpowered isn't the right term. What I mean is she's just like very good. And a lot of players play very poorly versus her. That's one of the reasons I like playing Zyra at Gold. Like, so many other like lower level ADCs and supports, you know, in the like silver to plat range, just do not respect Zyra's damage. I'm sure it's not that way at 5, but like, or at Diamond, but like, just so many players don't respect her damage. I guess we'll take that for a red spell at some point. But we don't really have anything going on here. If he has a Blessed Alliance, I would say the game's over, but I'm going to spend the energy anyway. Energy doesn't seem like it's particularly useful. The only thing bad about Blessed Alliance is I can't F6. Okay, thank God. F6 worked. Oh, well. Instantly punished, by the way, for wasting that energy. And now I can F6. Instantly punished for wasting the energy. For about 5 years since beta, Fumigate. Got me. They nerfed all 5 of Vigors in the same patch and took away an item that gave him... Yeah, they took away the... that's Deathfire's Grasp, right? I think it's better to play that than to just deal 3 damage. Like, if he had Cat, that would kind of suck for us, so... Yeah, Deathfire Grasp. I missed that. We were just having a conversation about that last night. I used to be pretty obsessed with Malphite mid using Deathfire Grasp, and they kind of ruined him. Well, ruined him for me, anyway. My buddy's a Fizz main. A Fizz main to this day. All he likes is fishes. He would rather dodge a game than play without Fizz. So can I concede? I have to deal 32 damage? Man, I do in fact miss Heart of Gold as well. Sure. Well, at least we get to attack once. Taste it. To go per 5 items were great. What are you? Alright. You can come play. I guess he could have nothing again. It's technically a 3-turn clock, right? Nope, he has something. So he drew a card for his turn, and that's 4, so that's 5. He's drawing another card for his turn, that's 6, so any scry 7? Or he could just hit another approach too. Won't let me go on. Well, I certainly just want more creatures, but like, we don't have them. Wonder if you're playable. Maybe you're just better than something we already have. Like, that card can't be any good, right? They do sideboard in Linvalas and Regal Caracals usually. Probably the mirror match, even though I didn't bring it in versus the mirror. Seems like it's good. It's good when my opponent has a Scarab God. So like, this hand's not really keepable, is it? But like, it's not mulliganable either. I just don't think you win this match without, like, Lone Tusk Cubs and stuff. Like, we're set up for a lone game. I don't think I'm willing to keep this hand. It's like a 5-land, 1-negate hand. Pretty sure I want a mulligan. It's too easy for him to even censor this on turn 3. I kinda want a mulligan. If we knew they wasn't playing Censor, then maybe I would want to keep the Tireless Tracker. Alright. Chat says to keep. I kind of want a mulligan, but I'm willing to try. Play this first, just in case we draw a cub or something. Not a cub. Have all the red mana we need. So if opponent just has a Censor, we kind of lose. They have a little Gideon, we kind of lose as well. Guess I could play around the Censor. Alright, I'll play around the Censor. Problem is, if I play around the Censor, like next turn, I should probably play around the Supreme Will as well, right? Like, do I ever want to play around the Supreme Will? Yeah, I'm just gonna play around it. I'm just gonna cast the Servant this turn, I think. Attacking lets him, if he plays like a Blessed Alliance or an Immolating Glare, I can play the Tracker post combat. And I'm not really worried about being able to get the. I'm not worried about drawing one card with the Tracker, I don't think. I feel like if I'm using to negate to save the Tireless Tracker, I'm just going to die to a Fumigate anyway. And I can play like this and play around the Supreme Will while keeping my mana up. So they cast out before the Tireless Tracker even hits the table? Could have tapped my mana better, I guess. Kind of feel like opponents shouldn't have played that. I guess he has two. Still don't like opponents play there. So, really hoping there's no Fumigate. Or at least no Dispel. So we can attack for more than 14 next turn. Alright, well, he's not casting anything. I guess an Effer Hub would be the best spell we could play. I guess an Effer Hub wouldn't do anything, would it? Alright, so what all goes on here? I can play the Tune and pump a Lone Tusk, but I can't also use the Wandering Fumarole. If I want to hold up the negate. Kind of think holding up negate's worth it. So how much damage are these guys? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Guess we'll just attack like this then. 4 mana? short. If he has a second, that would be bad. Seems like he's pressed F6 now. So we're kind of more than lethal next turn, right? And we can leave that up too. I guess we just won't play the servant then. Just in case he has like a fumigate plus a negate. So it's 4 mana. Feeling pretty decent about this game. Opponent sideboarded in the spells, I'm going to facepalm. Alright, what we got there? Could still have, I know he tapped GG, but like he could still have an unsummon. So I'll go ahead and get the energy that so an unsummon could win. Some of these builds did play unsummon. Doesn't look like he is. Looks like we got lucky and beat approach. Well, we moved to 2 and 2. Man, I want to log off and play some League of... I want to stream some League of Legends. Let's stream my adventures into gold. Wow, the realm popped instantly. But before I take the cue, remember, if you're liking what you see, please give us a follow here on Twitch. And if you're really liking what you see, you can look at the links below the video and find my Twitter and my YouTube, and follow those as well. On the Twitter, you'll see every time I go live and every deck list I play. On the YouTube, you'll see all of the streams that we do and some content that's not been streamed. And if you're watching from the YouTube, in every video in the description below, there's a link to the Twitch, the Twitter, and the deck list as well. Anyway, so we'll move on to the next round. This hand's pretty good. It's a little awkward on lands, but we have what I consider all of the more powerful spells in the deck. And we have the Attune with Effort to fix the land. Attune of Ether? Did I call it Ether? Ether, Ether, I don't know. I'm a redneck from Eastern Kentucky, so forgive all pronunciations of all things. Uh-oh. Not got paired versus Sneaky Snakes in a while. I did get paired versus a Sultai Delirium deck the other night with Scarab Gods and like Rogue Refiners and everything, and it was brutal. Man, that deck seemed pretty good, actually. I think it was a lot like what Brandon DeCandio had been playing. No, why do you always have the Fatal Push? Rude. Rude AF fam. Well, they don't get to draw a card this turn, so don't know if we have to worry about killing it. Not going to kill it. Just going to play this thing. Uses my mana a little bit better. I don't think him getting 1 to 2 energy matters. We can always harness lightning it on the following turn, and like if we draw, I don't know, in a tune or something, it feels like it uses the mana slightly better. Oh. Well, the second Lone Tusk Cub clearly punishes that, but he can't, or sorry, the second Glint clearly punishes that. But he can't attack with the first. So I guess that's something. Alright. So let him have one card? Oh, I got sneeze. So I got very punished for not killing the one thing. I'm just gonna attack. It's too much of a chance that he'll have a removal spell or something for me to think I'm gonna get the block. Would have been nice if that Sanctum was an untapped red source, but I think there's only 5 in the deck and we already had one of them, so was it real likely? Well, I can't let him draw cards forever. Feel like I also can't win if I don't keep adding to the board, though. Huh. He's ahead of me on board and on cards and probably on lands. So what does killing one Glint do? Doesn't really solve any of those problems, right? Let's be greedy. Look for an untapped land. Not an untapped land. Alright, probably wasn't winning this game anyway then. Feel like we were pretty far behind. Oh, that seems good. Use that energy so that I can't even kill the sky ship because I'm a genius. Yeah, well, I guess I can kill the sky ship. I don't really like how I played this game, but with the lands we've drawn, I don't think it would have mattered. Drawing a mountain's clearly our best draw step, I think. I believe. Scarab God as well. Well, we're just dead. He's going to be able to get our Whirler Virtuoso back during our upkeep, and then we don't really even have an out. But maybe he'll choose to make a different play, and then we'll have some outs, I guess. Could also just be dead on board to a removal spell, but that's fine. Yeah, we definitely dead. Had outs that turn, though. Like, If he gets back to Whirler, we're just going to scoop. Yeah. Just go ahead and concede game. Feel like the red cards are better than the black cards. Alright, so we definitely want the confiscation coups. Whoops. Don't know if I want the sky ship. That card seems good enough. This card seems good enough. None of the rest of this seems particularly good. So what seems real bad here? The magma sprays seem okay, but not great. But they do let things kill things. I cut all the braids out of the other list, but I think the braids are a little bit, or when I was playing versus Temur, but he's already showed us the sky ship, so like maybe our braids are a little bit better now. Kind of feels just like the bristling hydras aren't very good. Kind of feel like this Viridis Gearhulk isn't particularly good as well. Feel like Rogue Refiners are okay. Feel like everything that I have with flying's okay. Maybe it's just magma sprays and stuff. Maybe Jace's defeat's also not as good since they don't have Whirler Virtuosos to also hit. They could still have confiscation coups and stuff, right? No idea what the last card's going to be. Think about just taking out another Abrade. Alright. So, we gotta win 2 games in a row to nail a PD chest. Alright, this hand seems fine. We don't have blue mana, but we do have double servant. He doesn't always have to have the removal spell on turn 1. Or turn 2. Mostly turn 1, because if he has it on turn 2, I guess that's fine, because he wouldn't be casting a Glen on his turn 2. Well, we gotta find blue mana. Oh, 1 time no fatal push? Nice. Alright, we hit another blue mana, so it's not the end of the world if he does have the fatal push now. We drew double Rogue Refiner, which is probably one of the better cards in this match. Especially for the early turns of the game anyway. Play the Rogue Refiner first. Could hit a Botanical Sanctum or a Spire Bluff or something. We'll definitely get a blue source with this one. So I have a reasonable hand at least. Kind of feel like if he just plays a Rogue Refiner that I can kill it and attack for 5. But that might be greedy. Maybe just attacking and trading is better and saving my Harness Lightning. Yeah, I like the idea of saving the Harness Lightning. Play that first because I would actually play a Lone Tusk Cub before I would play the Servant here. I asked him if he knew about who traded in the playmat. He had no idea. So I probably need to ask Adam at some point then. I'm not going to pump energy into this. It's too easy for him to have a fatal push or something. Also, probably should have cast a Rogue Refiner pre-combat to see if I needed this land for anything. But we have two different spells. Oh. Alright, I guess we'll go all in on this then. I really want to find... I've also messaged Nathan, but nobody has the answer to that question for me so far. Alright, so he just conceded to that. So we're going to draw those cards? Those cards are good cards. Alright. So it comes down to one game to open a pity chest or keep $2 or be down $4. So on the draw, I feel like the braids and the magma sprays are a little better. Because it might have been traded in or something before you got there. I didn't know when it come into the shop. Like, it could have been there since before you moved to Pikeville, for all I knew. I have just recently heard about the card, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there prior to that. Or not card, playmat. Alright. So what do we need here? I think you're less good on the draw. I'm just going to bring in another random 2-mana spell. So what do we have? We have a hand with no removal, no 2... Well, we have a 2-drop. We have terrible mana and no removal. By the way, thank you for Chris, Marco, and Braz for following. Like, this hand's pretty bad, but I think it's good enough to keep. Like, it's actually questionable. I don't think this hand's great. This hand's pretty mediocre, to be honest. I would kill a Glint on turn 2 with us on the draw. The Glint can also get him a card right off the bat as well in this spot. So we got a decent start here. If he's got a second one of those, we're not happy. He's got 3 cards in his hand, so he's only got 2 cards in his hand. So if we get the Confiscation Coup, we're probably set for life, right? Gonna make the greedier play. He didn't put a black mana in play when he had the opportunity to put the black mana in play. So I'm just gonna assume he can't answer the Lone Tusk Cub this turn. Like, I don't think he had the Fatal Push. Well, that's a good one. I really think he drew that Fatal Push. I don't think he had it. Alright, so now we're hunting for a confiscation coup before we lose. There is 3 of them in this deck, so... Go confiscation coup? Alright, so all 3 cards in this hand are unknowns. So opponent and myself have had fairly bad draws. My draw seems like it's a little bit better than what his draw was, but it doesn't mean it's any good. Still have 3 live cards of confiscation coups. And he didn't play anything again. Interesting. Guess I'm just going to play this and fire up these 2 and attack. A Visor would be a good draw. So he had Hour of Glory. So we're basically just wanting to dodge Scarab God right now, I guess. Rogue Refiners would also be bad. Skyship seems good, though. Skyship seems like it does work. Opponent's really flooding out. So opponent has no cards in hand now. Blue, green, colorless, colorless. And so he has 1 turn to hit. And it can't just be any hit. It's got to be a pretty good hit. By the way, I'd like to point out this is another game that Ronus come down and did literal nothing. We had 4 answers to Ronus as well. Alright, well we got a cheeky little 3-2 there. So yeah, this was Shota's list from Japanese Nationals. I kind of like the Glorybringer lists a lot more. It came down to just look pretty. That's fair enough. The reason I constantly call out Ronus, because if anybody watched back when we were just starting and playing a whole lot of red-green Pummeler, like, there was arguments whether Ronus should be in the red-green Pummeler deck and stuff, and like, we were just trying to keep a mental count on how many times it was good and how many times it was bad. When it's good, it's extremely good. When it's bad, it's extremely bad. And I've never really liked the card. But yeah, it's going on almost 7 p.m., so I guess that's going to be it for us tonight. Have a dentist in the morning, so the stream will probably be late again, or maybe it'll be early. Might as well open the chest though, even though nobody asked me to. Don't really have many viewers today. What do we got chest-wise? We got a Hellcat that is bulk. There's some chance that I'll be back later, but probably not. I'm gonna go get a workout in. Still, we hit the good chest yesterday, so we don't care that we missed. And let's see who we're gonna host. Looking for somebody that's playing standard. Looks like everybody I watch is playing Cube, so I guess we'll just host Mana Traders then. A pretty nice service. I'm probably going to get a hold of them for the next set so we can play a bigger variety of decks. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, everybody.